Warrior. Here's the irony. We spend our lives dodging pain. Yet, it's the moments that shatter us that shape who we're meant to be. Right now, as you watch this, you might be facing something so heavy, it feels unbearable. Picture this. You're slumped in your car after a grueling day, drained to your core. Or maybe it's 2 a.m. and you're staring at the ceiling, wondering why everything fell apart so fast. Maybe you're just exhausted, tired of pretending you're okay, tired of carrying a mask that's too heavy. Here's the game changer. While most see their darkest moments as proof life's against them, the ancient Stoics saw a deeper truth. Our greatest pain often becomes our greatest teacher, inviting us to discover our true strength. Marcus Aurelius, a man who led an empire through personal tragedies that could crush anyone, wrote privately, "The mind that seeks the good, whether it finds it or not, is honored by the pursuit itself." He wasn't chasing praise. He was reminding himself that even in loss, heartbreak, or chaos, there's value in striving for what's good. Let me be real with you. This video might bring tears, and I'm not sorry, because sometimes we need to feel our inner strength through the toughest moments. You've survived every hard day so far. That's not small. That's extraordinary. We live in a world obsessed with avoiding pain at all costs. Scroll past what stirs you. Shop to fill the void. Do anything to numb the feelings. But what if the thing you're running from is the doorway to your truest self? The Stoics had no smartphones to escape into, no endless distractions to dull their pain. When Marcus lost his child, when Epictetus endured slavery and torture, when Seneca faced exile and death, they confronted their humanity head-on. In that acceptance, they found what we've forgotten: pain isn't the enemy, and struggles don't signal weakness. They're the raw material for our transformation. Right now, someone's fighting a battle no one sees. Someone's grieving a loss that changed everything. Someone's facing a fear bigger than their courage. To them, I say what the Stoics knew: you are capable. Not because you're superhuman, but because you're human. This isn't about forcing positivity or ignoring reality. It's about dancing with hardship, finding meaning in chaos, and realizing the things that break your heart might be expanding it to hold more love, wisdom, and compassion than you ever imagined. If these words hit home, hit the like button, not for me, but as a promise to yourself that you're ready to face hard truths. Comment to share your courage. Share this video with someone who needs to remember their strength. Subscribe to this channel because we're building a community of people who choose growth over comfort. Don't skip any part of this video. Every word is crafted for someone who needs to hear it. And that someone might be you. What's coming next isn't just ideas. It's an invitation to see life differently, to uncover strength you didn't know you had, and realize that your sensitivity, your struggles, your deeply human heart aren't weaknesses to overcome. They're superpowers waiting to be unleashed. Leave this comment to affirm you're standing tall. My pain is becoming my strength. Let me share the day that changed everything for me. It might help you see why your worst day could be your greatest gift. It was a Tuesday. Why is it always a Tuesday when life decides to teach us lessons we're not ready for? I woke up thinking it was just another day. By nightfall, everything I believed about myself, my relationships, and my future had crumbled. You know that feeling when the ground vanishes beneath you, when the story you've told yourself about your life stops making sense. That's where I was. Maybe that's where you are now. The Stoics understood something we've forgotten. Our worst days aren't punishments, they're revelations. Epictetus, who knew bad days all too well, taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He spoke as someone who'd been enslaved, beaten, and stripped of everything society deems valuable. From the depths of human suffering, he uncovered something beautiful when everything external is stripped away. What's left is the real you. Your worst day doesn't define you, it reveals you. It shows how strong you are when everything else fades. I still remember sitting in my car that night, crying like I did as a kid, not the cinematic tears, but rough, soul-shaking sobs from deep within. In that moment of total collapse, something shifted. I stopped asking why this happened to me and started asking what it was teaching me. That question changed everything. I was no longer a victim of circumstance, but a student of my own life. The pain didn't vanish. It transformed into something useful. The fear didn't disappear. It became fuel for courage I didn't know I had. Your worst day is trying to show you resilience you can't learn any other way. It reveals depths of strength that comfort never touches. It teaches you that you're not as fragile as you think, not as helpless as you fear, and definitely not as alone as you sometimes feel. Every person you admire, every story that moves you, every great example you've known, they all share this. They had days when everything fell apart, and they chose what you're being invited to choose now, to let the breaking become an opening. Hidden in that terrible gift is everything you need to become who you're meant to be. It holds the compassion you'll offer to others in pain, the strength for challenges you can't yet imagine, and the wisdom forged in fire, proving you're not burned but refined. If you're ready to let your hardest moments teach you, leave this comment. My worst day revealed my best self. Next, why your sensitivity is your secret weapon. They've told you you're too sensitive, haven't they? Too emotional, too intense. Maybe they said it with concern, maybe frustration. But the message was clear: feeling deeply in a world that rewards numbness is somehow wrong. Here's what I wish someone had told you sooner. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw to fix. It's a profound strength you've been taught to hide. Seneca, a great Roman philosopher, wrote letters to his friend with such raw honesty and vulnerability that they still move us too. 000 years later, he said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Those words weren't dry philosophy, they came from tears, loss, and pain. Only the deeply feeling can know. The Stoics weren't the emotionless robots people imagine. They were among the most emotionally intelligent of their time. They felt everything but learned to feel without being destroyed by it. There's a difference between feeling deeply and being drowned by emotions. Your sensitivity is your ability to notice what others miss. You feel someone's pain in your chest. You cry at beauty. You sense injustice before your mind catches up. This isn't weakness. It's wisdom no book can teach. Your emotions aren't random. They're data. They're your inner compass pointing to what matters. That anxiety about a relationship, it's not paranoia. It's your sensitivity picking up on real tensions your logic hasn't yet named. That excitement for a risky opportunity. It's your intuition seeing potential others overlook. The world needs those who feel deeply. We need people who care so much it hurts, because that care drives change. We need those who notice the struggle behind a smile, who pause to cherish a sunset, who feel injustice in their bones and act to make it right. Your tears aren't a sign of frailty, they're proof you're fully alive. Your intense emotions aren't a problem to solve, they're a gift to embrace. Your ability to feel another's pain isn't a burden, it's compassion in action. Stop apologizing for feeling deeply. Stop trying to numb what makes you human. Let go of the lie that strength means feeling less. True strength is feeling everything and still showing up. Still caring. Still choosing love despite fear. Still believing in goodness despite a world giving you countless reasons not to parpe. Your sensitivity is your secret weapon because it lets you connect with others in ways shallow encounters never can. It fuels your ability to create, love, inspire, and heal not, despite your deep emotions, but because of them. If you see your sensitivity as a superpower, leave this comment. My sensitivity is my strength, not my weakness. Next, the art of losing everything and finding yourself. There comes a moment in life when everything you thought you needed is stripped away. Maybe it's all at once: your job, a relationship, a dream, or someone you loved gone. Or maybe it's gradual, watching your old life crumble piece by piece until you wake up one day and barely recognize yourself or your world. I want to talk about that moment, because if you haven't faced it yet, you will. And if you're in it now, hear this: you're not falling apart, you're being rearranged. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He wrote, "Loss is nothing but change, and change is nature's delight." Those words sound simple, but they're hard to live by. He wrote them as a man who lost children, saw his empire falter, and faced betrayals that could break anyone. Yet he found something profound: when everything external is taken, what remains is your unshakable core. There's something both painful and beautiful about losing what you thought defined you. It hurts in ways you never knew possible, but it's beautiful because it forces you to meet the real you beneath the titles, roles, possessions, and relationships that were never truly yours. Remember the day you lost what felt like your entire identity, that career you built over years, the relationship you thought would last forever, the future you planned so carefully, all gone in moments. You sat in an empty apartment, surrounded by boxes, feeling like a stranger in your own life. But here's what no one tells you about rock bottom: it's solid ground. You can build from there. When you have nothing left to lose, you have everything to gain. When old strategies fail, you're forced to find new ones. When your old identity crumbles, you get to choose who you'll become next. The art of losing everything isn't just about letting go gracefully, though that comes with time. It's about seeing loss as liberation. Every ending clears the way for a beginning. Every closed door leads to one meant for you. Every person who leaves makes space for those who truly belong. Loss isn't punishment for your mistakes. It's not proof you're not good enough, smart enough, or worthy. It's the universe redirecting you, knowing better than you what you truly need. It's an invitation to stop controlling outcomes and start trusting the process. Think of a tree in winter. It looks dead, doesn't it? Bare branches reaching into a gray sky. No leaves, no sign of life. But beneath the surface, in its roots and core, life is still working. It's gathering strength for spring. That's you right now. If you're in a season of loss, you may feel empty, exposed, or broken. But beneath the surface, where you can't yet see, You're building strength for your next chapter. Your roots are growing deeper than ever, preparing you for a version of yourself you can't yet imagine. The art of losing everything is really the art of finding your true self, not the person you thought you had to be, but the one who knows their worth comes from within. Not the one who shatters when circumstances shift, but the one who bends and grows stronger. Right now, someone watching this is mourning a dream that didn't come true, a business that failed, a relationship that ended, a career that didn't work out, a life plan derailed by forces beyond control. You're wondering if you're a failure, if you didn't try hard enough, if you're doomed to never get what you truly want. Let me share something that might sound radical. At first, your broken dreams aren't failures. They're course corrections towards something better than you imagined. Epictetus taught something revolutionary. Don't demand things happen as you wish. Wish them to happen as they do. He wasn't preaching passive resignation. He was showing us that clinging to specific outcomes blinds us to better possibilities waiting just beyond. Imagine someone chasing a dream for 3 years, pouring every waking moment into it, sacrificing relationships, health, sleep, and joy, all for one vision of success. Then it collapses. They feel they've wasted the best years of their life on something that was never theirs. Anger wells up at the universe, themselves. Others who seem to live their dreams while theirs lie in ruins. But here's what they can't see in their heartbreak. That broken dream is opening a new path. It's revealing dreams they never knew they had. The skills they honed. The person they became. The resilience they built. None of it is wasted. It's the foundation for something different. Something far more meaningful than they could have planned. Broken dreams aren't proof you're not good enough. They're signs you're being guided to what truly aligns with who you are, not who you thought you had to be. Sometimes, you must let go of dreams that aren't yours to make room for the ones that are. Think of a river hitting a rock. It doesn't call it failure. It flows around it, finding a new path often more beautiful than the first. Your broken dreams are teaching you things success never could power. Showing your worth isn't tied to achievements, revealing strengths you didn't know you had. Maybe that ended relationship saved you from settling for less than you deserve. Maybe the job you didn't get is guiding you to work that feeds your soul. Maybe the dream you cherished was too small for the person you're becoming. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I'm not telling you to ignore the grief of what didn't happen. That's part of being human. But don't let that sorrow convince you you're unworthy of beauty. Don't let one closed door make you believe all doors are locked. Your broken dreams are fertile ground for new ones to grow, dreams that fit the real you. Dreams that honor who you've become through the cracks and rebuilding. Dreams you couldn't see while clinging to the old ones. Trust the process. Even when the destination isn't clear, believe life is working for you, not against you. Believe what feels like an ending might be the most important beginning you'll ever know. If you're ready to trust that broken dreams lead to better ones, leave this comment. My broken dreams are becoming better dreams. Next, why your struggles are sacred. I need to share something that could shift how you see every hard moment. Your struggles aren't flaws in the system, they're features. They're not something wrong, they're something right, just in ways you haven't considered. We live in a culture that treats struggle like a disease to cure quickly. Pop a pill, buy a fix, think positive, escape the pain. But what if the thing we're fleeing is the most sacred part of being human? The Stoics had a beautiful concept called amor fati, love your fate, not just tolerate it. not just endure it, but love it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept what fate binds you to, and love those it brings you." He meant your struggles aren't random punishments, they're perfectly placed teachers meant for you. I remember sitting with a friend going through a divorce after 20 years. She kept apologizing for her tears, saying she needed to be stronger, blaming herself for not moving on faster. It hit me, we've been taught to feel ashamed of our struggles instead of honoring them. Your struggles are sacred because they're shaping you into someone you couldn't become any other way. That anxiety you carry teaches you empathy for others, fighting invisible battles. That depression weighing on your chest deepens your capacity for joy, that easy happiness can't touch. Every person who's made a real difference, every teacher, healer, artist, leader, innovator shares this. They struggled. They had moments of wanting to quit. They doubted their strength, smarts, or worth. And they realized their struggles weren't weaknesses, but proof of their capacity. You can't comfort someone in their darkest night if you haven't faced your own. You can't guide someone through pain if you haven't lost something precious. You can't inspire someone to keep going if you haven't wanted to give up yourself. Your struggles give you credentials. No university can grant, and wisdom no book can teach. Your struggles are sacred because they're always shifting, always moving, always transforming you into someone new. The person who enters a struggle isn't the same one who emerges. That transformation is the sacred part. You're becoming extraordinary. You're becoming someone who's faced trials and chosen to see them as refining, not destroying. Someone who's met their deepest fears and found they're stronger than they thought. Someone who's been hurt yet lets those cracks become places where light shines through. Your struggle is sacred because it's yours. Crafted by the universe to trust you can handle it. Not easily, not without scars or tears, but triumphantly. Next, the courage to start over. There are moments when we all realize we must begin again, not because we failed or gave up, but because we've outgrown who we were, and the life we built for that person no longer fits. Starting over at 25 is an adventure. At 35, it's daunting. At 45, it feels impossible. At any age, when you thought you had it figured out, it takes a rare kind of bravery. Seneca, who lost his career, status, and eventually his life, knew this courage. He wrote, "Life is long if you know how to use it." He didn't mean live longer, but live fuller. Even if it means starting anew when staying comfortable would be easier. Picture a woman in her 52nd leaving a successful law career to become an elementary school teacher. To many, that seems crazy. Why trade financial stability and prestige for starting from scratch? But for her, it wasn't fleeing failure. It was answering a deeper call. Teaching kids reignited a passion buried for years. She rediscovered why she loved learning. That clarity made the leap worth it. Starting over isn't erasing the past. It's weaving all you've learned into something that serves who you're becoming. Every mistake, lesson, and skill you've gained doesn't vanish when you pivot. They become the foundation for what's next. The courage to start over is about trusting yourself more than others' opinions, choosing growth over comfort, possibility over safety, authenticity over approval. It's saying, "I don't know what's next, but I know I can't stay still." Maybe you're sitting there now, knowing you need to restart something, a relationship long dead, a job that pays but kills your spirit, or a version of yourself others expect but no longer fits. Starting over isn't giving up, it's growing up. It's the difference between settling for what is and creating what could be. It's the difference between surviving your life and truly living it. The world needs those brave enough to begin again. Your courage to start over shows us it's possible. You prove we're not bound by our first choices, past mistakes, or others' expectations. You demonstrate that life is a series of new beginnings, not just a long middle with a disappointing end. Starting over means taking the beauty of your past and leaving behind what no longer fits. You keep the wisdom and let go of the regrets. You honor who you were while embracing who you're becoming. Yes, it's scary. Yes, others might not get it. Yes, you might stumble, struggle, or question if you made the right choice. But what's scarier is reaching the end of your life and realizing you never had the courage to live the life you truly wanted. Your future self is counting on you now to be brave enough to start again. If you've watched this far, something in you knows this message is for you, not because your life is harder, but because you're ready to see your struggles differently. You're ready to stop running from pain and start learning from it. You're ready to stop apologizing for feeling deeply and start turning that sensitivity into strength. The Stoics knew what we often forget. We're not victims of our circumstances. We're students of our own lives. With every challenge, a lesson tailored for us. Every loss creates space for something better. Every ending is a disguised beginning. The tears you shed watching this aren't weakness, they're recognition. Your soul sees its own strength. Your heart recalls its resilience. Your spirit awakens to its power. You came into this world with everything you need to face every challenge, not easily, not without scars or moments of wanting to give up, but triumphantly. Your struggles aren't proof something's wrong with you, they're evidence you're alive. You care. You're growing. As Epictetus said, you're an actor in a play scripted by a greater author. Your role may involve struggle, heartbreak, or starting over, but it's your role, and only you can play it. The world needs your sensitivity, your struggles, your story of breaking and rebuilding. If this video has stirred you, hit like as a promise to yourself to stop seeing struggles as problems and start seeing them as preparation. Comment to tell someone they're not alone. Share this with someone whose heart needs these words. And subscribe to join a community choosing growth. You're not broken, you're breaking open. If this truth resonates deep within, leave this comment as a vow to yourself: I'm not broken. I'm breaking open.